Good morning to you all present over here. Yesterday we discussed reproduction in organism. Today I have to discuss second chapter, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. As yesterday, some of the points we also discussed here. These flowering plants also known as angiospermic plants. How plants contain sexual reproduction, that we will discuss here only. Okay, but before that we have to know that what is flower. So flower is what? Flower is a modified suit. It is a modified suit. Here one question came in medical exam, that who given the definition that flower is a modified suit. So you have to give attention on that. That is according to Gode. Scientist name is Gode. So Gode gave this definition that flower is a modified suit, and this flower is also the product of sexual reproduction activity. Okay, so next we have to see this flower. Already we discussed what are the components are there. So here this already we discussed, but just for quick review, just for quick review, I'm just telling why it is known as it is a modified suit. Means suit means what? It should contain stem and it should contain leaf. Okay, if these both we can prove that flower containing, then we can say that it is a modified suit. Okay, now come on, this is what? This is thalamus or receptacle. Thalamus or receptacle. Okay, this thalamus or receptacle is a modification of stem. It is what? Modification of stem. So we proved that it contains stem. So here we already proved. Now next we have to come on, this flower contains four whorls. They contain four floral whorls, or we can say parts. These parts already last class we discussed. This is green leaf like structure that we called it calyx. Then we called it inner one is corolla. Then we called it androecium, and then innermost what we call gynoecium. Okay, now these four worlds, it is what? Modification of leaf. Modification of leaf. Okay, so these modification of leaf, what we prove here? It is leaf. Here what we prove? Thalamus or receptacle, modification of stem. Okay, so these stem and leaf, that's why Gode proved that flower is a modified suit. Now you understood that. Now here two questions are coming, that what are the components or whorls are reproductive and what are accessory whorls. Okay, so here what we seen? First we seen calyx, outermost. Then what we seen? Corolla. These two, corolla and calyx, it is known as accessory whorls. Accessory whorls. Or it is also known as non-reproductive part of flower. Non-reproductive whorls of flower. You have to give emphasis on this point. What are the components in flower that belongs to accessory whorls or not reproductive whorls? So one is calyx, one is corolla. Now come on next. What we seen? One is androecium, and one is gynoecium. These two, known as, here what we told, non-reproductive and accessory. Here it is essential whorls or reproductive whorls Okay, this androecium already we discussed. It is what? Male reproductive organ. This is the symbol of male reproductive organ of the flower, and a gynoecium is female. This is the symbol of female reproductive organ of the flower. Okay, so you have to remember, if questions are coming that which are the components known as essential whorls or reproductive whorls, so what will the answer? Androecium or gynoecium. And if non-accessory, accessory, non, it is non-accessory or accessory only, non-essential or accessory or non-reproductive whorls, then what we have to say? Calyx and corolla. Okay, now we will enter into that flower. Already we know that flower is a modified shoot. Who told that? Godet. Flower is a modified shoot. How we can prove that? By showing that thalamus is a modification of a stem and all the four whorls are modification of leaf. So these two proves that flower is a modified shoot. Okay. Now, next we have to see that flower, what we see in accessory and essential whorls, androecium and gynoecium. Okay, so we will discuss only these two, androecium and gynoecium, in this chapter. Okay, so androecium, or we can say it is male reproductive organ of flower. Okay, each unit of androecium is known as stamen. Okay, this stamen contains two parts. What are the parts are there? One is anther and one is filament. One is anther and one is filament. So these two parts contained in stamen. Now here one questions are coming that what are the parts that are having reproductive feature in stamen? So what is that? Anther is reproductive part. Reproductive part of stamen, and filament is non-reproductive part. Non-reproductive part of stamen, or it is also known as nutritive part, means it provide nutritive part nutritive part or provider, nutrition provider. Okay, you have to remember this. Anther, one question already came in medical, that reproductive part of a stamen is anther. Okay, now here we will see that what is the site, means where pollen grains are present. Okay, so already we know that anther is what, reproductive part, and filament is what, non-reproductive part or nutritive part or nutrition provider. Okay, so what we can say, anther is, it is site of, site means place, it is site of pollen grain development. It is site of pollen grain development. So pollen grain develops where? Only in anther. Okay, so pollen grain development. And you already seen that stamen, here anther is there. So what we can say, it is terminal part of a stamen. Okay, so anther is what? Anther is terminal part of stamen. Okay, you have to remember this also. So anther is what? Terminal part of stamen. Now, if we are seeing this anther, so anther generally it is looks like dithecus, or it is also known as a bilobed. So it is one lobe or theca. So what we can say, anther is generally dithecus or bilobed. Bi means two. So one is this and one is this two. Okay. So anther is generally dithecus or bilobed in nature. Okay. Now these lobe joined by tissue, and that tissue is known as a parenchymatous tissue. This parenchymatous tissue, you have to remember, that question came in the JIPMER, that parenchymatous tissue, sclerenchymatous tissue, both none of these. So you have to remember this. Anther is generally dithecus or bilobed, which are joined by, what I told, which type of tissue? Parenchymatous tissue. Parenchymatous tissue. Here you have to give attention on parenchymatous tissue. So anther is generally dithecus or bilobed, which are joined by parenchymatous tissue. Okay, you have to remember this. So what we seen here, anther is dithecus or bilobed and joined by parenchymatous tissue. So these all relates with what? Now here we have to see these thecus, that bithecus we told na. So here what I told, these are looks like this. Okay, so it is having what here, 4 microsporangium they are containing inside that. Okay, so if you are seeing that, so it looks like tetragonal structure. Okay, so what we can say, dithecus anther. Next is dithecus anther is four-sided, 1 2 3 4, four-sided tetraangular, four-sided tetraangular in structure. That you have to remember. It is having what? Tetraangular four-sided structure. Okay, that contained what? These are what? Microsporangium. Microsporangium. Okay, So each one is microsporangium, and if combinedly we will tell, so what we can say, it contain 4 microsporangia. 4 microsporangia, and if singularly we have to say that it is microsporangium. So a dithecous anther contain what? 4 microsporangium. Okay, but some exception is there in Malvaceae family. Okay, so there happens what? Monothecous or single lobed. So if single lobed is there, means what we can say, how much microsporangia will be there? Only 2, because these 2 will be not there, then only 2. So generally, that's why I told, generally anther is dithecous or bilobed, but some exception like in Malvaceae, it is having 2 microsporangia, because that is having what? Single lobe, and single lobe contains how many microsporangia? 2 microsporangia is there. Okay, now, so here first what we seen, stamen first part, that is anther. Next we have to see filament. So next is filament. Now already we discussed stamen non-reproductive part is filament. So it is sterile, long and slender stalk. It is sterile, long and slender stalk-like structure. Stalk-like structure. So it is filament. You have to just remember here only that it is what? Sterile. Okay, so filament is sterile, but anther is what? Reproductive part. Now here what we seen, terminal part was anther. This is proximal end. It is present in proximal. Here you have to give attention, which end? Proximal. So proximal end of stamen, it is present in proximal end, and anther was present in terminal end of stamen. Okay, now here what happened, this filament, okay, and anther both is there. Okay, so when anther is young, when, please give attention, when anther is young, it contain homogeneous mass of meristematic cell. When anther is young, it contain homogeneous. Homogeneous means same type, homogeneous mass of meristematic cells. Meristematic means always having the capacity to grow, divide. So meristematic cells. When anther is young, it contain what? Homogeneous mass of meristematic cells. Okay, and that is known as primary sporogenous cells. Known as primary sporogenous cells. So here important is there what? That primary sporogenous cells is nothing but meristematic cells. And which type of meristematic? homogeneous mass of meristematic cells, and that is known as primary sporogenous cells. Okay, and it is covered by, this is covered by anther wall, which is which is covered by anther wall. Okay, here you have to give emphasis only on primary sporogenous cells. Okay, but when it will present, when anther is young, it contains homogeneous mass of aristematic cells known as primary sporogenous cells, which is covered by anther wall. Okay, now what happened when microsporangia, that we discuss here, when microsporangia develops further, what happens? Pollen sac structure formed. Okay, so when microsporangia develops further, what happens? Pollen sac formed. Pollen sac formed. Okay, and pollen sac means bag, and pollen grains containing bag. So where pollen grains will be present? Inside the pollen sac. So microsporangia develops further, and what is it forming? Pollen sac will be formed. Okay, and that pollen sac contain what? All the pollen grains, thousands of pollen grains, and this pollen sac contains number of pollen grains. Number of pollen grains. So pollen sac contains pollen sac contain what? Pollen grains. Okay, and this pollen sac will comes under where? Microsporangia. Okay, so now you understood that this anther, filament, okay, what are the things were there. Now here we are making one rough diagram type structure. One, two, three, four. These all are what? Microsporangium. Okay, and here inside the center they are connected with one tissue. This is known as a connective. Okay, so this is known as what? Connective. Now we will see that what is the structure of microsporangium. So we will discuss one microsporangium, that all will be applicable for these four microsporangia. Come on, microsporangia. So we will see structure of microsporangium. Now, what we seen here, a typical microsporangium appears circular in nature. That we seen here, like that. A typical microsporangium looks like what? Circular in nature. So it is circular in nature. Okay, so typical microsporangium having what? circular in nature. Okay, now these contains some layers that we told already. Microsporangium having what? Anther walls. So these contains some layers. The outermost, the outermost anther wall, it is known as epidermis. It is known as epidermis. Okay, now inner to this, inner to this, it is known as endothecium. So second one is, be emphasis on that, from outside we are going inside. So outermost is epidermis, then second one is endothecium, then 3 to 4 layers are there. Sometimes 1 to 2 is also there. So 3 to 4 layers are there inside that. This anther wall is known as middle layers. Okay, so outermost is what? Epidermis, then what? Endothecium, then it is having 2 to 4 layers, then middle layers, then innermost. Okay, then innermost layer is tapetum. Then it is innermost layer and it is known as tapetum. Okay, now here one question came in EMS. Arrange the anther wall from outside to inside. So what will be the answer? Yes, right. So number one, from outside. If inside will come, then first tapetum will come. But from outside ask question. So what will be the answer? First is epidermis. Next is endothecium. Next is middle layers. And next is tapetum. Please give attention. Question is asking what? Many times I have seen questions AIPMT, but in EMS I am just telling that questions were there from outside to inside. Maybe questions will come from inside to outside. To inside to outside, what will be happen? Tapetum, middle layers, endothecium, then epidermis. But question was there from outside to inside. So epidermis, endothecium, middle layers, and tapetum. Okay, now one by one we will see their features. Okay, so first we will see anther wall. Okay, here first what we see? Epidermis. Epidermis. Here you have to give attention. Then epidermis is what? It is outermost single layered. What I told? Outermost single layered. So it is outermost single layered structure. Here is single, you have to remember. Okay, it is outermost single layered structure and function is what? Protection. So which is protective in function. protection you remember or not important, but single is important. That epidermis is what? Single layered structure and having function what? Protection. They are providing protection. So it is protective in function. Okay. Next one is endothecium. It is what? It is inner to epidermis. Okay, it is inner to epidermis and it contains one fibrous thickening. Okay, which contain fibrous thickening. Okay, they are containing what? Fibrous thickening. Why they containing fibrous thickening? To release the what? To release the dehiscence or to release the pollen grains. Okay, so to help in dehiscence of anther. Pollen grains. Okay, so this endothecium is having what? Containing fibrous thickening to help in dehiscence of pollen grains. Okay, and help in what happens when anther burst out, then pollen grains release. So dehiscence of anther to release pollen grains, to release pollen grains. So this is the important here. You have to remember it is what? Fibrous thickening. You have to remember this in endothecium. Okay. Now next what? Next first we discuss epidermis, then endothecium. Next is middle layers. So third one is middle layers. Okay, already we discussed how many layers they are containing. They are having 2 to 4, sometimes also having 1 to 3. Okay, so these are short lived, very short. Life is very short. You see, these are short lived and having 1 to 4 layered structure. 1 to 4 layered structure. Here you have to give attention on short lived. Okay, so middle layers are short lived and having 1 to 4 layered structure. Okay, when maturity will come, first of all degenerate here. So what happens at maturity? At maturity it degenerates. When maturity it degenerates. So this all belongs to what? 3 outermost layer. Okay. Next we have to discuss fourth one, that is tapetum. That is also important. Next one is tapetum. You all listen about this. What is tapetum? It is innermost layer of anther wall. Okay. So it is innermost layer of anther wall, which provides what? Providing nutrition to developing pollen grains. Okay, here you have to remember tapetum doing what? Providing nutrition to whom? To developing pollen grains. And we already know these pollen grains where it present pollen sac. Pollen sac where it present sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue where it present microsporangium. So developing pollen grains, or we can say write also sporogenous tissue. Okay, sometimes sporogenous tissue also giving, but at that time if you not remember this pollen grains sporogenous tissue, you have to give attention. Okay, so sporogenous tissue or pollen grains development providing nutrition structure is tapetum. Okay, now this